Alright. Hey guys, this is Bloody Biscuits, and this is going to be the start of a video series that is basically, this video series is going to be me going through the testing process of making a deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! And yeah, that's basically what it is. So in these videos, I'm gonna show you what this deck is, and then we're gonna put through testing. We're gonna duel a bunch of people and see what works and what doesn't. And by the end, we're gonna have the super awesome product. So, like right now, this deck right here, this is just like the prototype. This is phase A, if you will. And then we're gonna get to like the super awesome deck in the end of it. And we're just gonna see how that works. So yeah. Let's get started. This first video, I guess, is gonna be just me explaining the deck, and what we're gonna be testing. What we're gonna be making is we're gonna be making a psychic variant, and I'll explain psychics a little bit. Basically, psychics, they're the first deck that I made when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like 2 years after I quit, and I mean. Psychics right now, they aren't the best deck. They aren't like super awesome tier 1 overpowered deck, but they have the potential to be a good deck. You just, you know, you have to, I don't know, you just have to try out a bunch of different stuff, and just they're a good deck. You just, you know, have to look out for them, that they just aren't broken, and we're gonna see what kind of deck we can make with them, basically. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, the reason that I guess another reason why I'm making this video is just because I got really excited thinking about like making this new deck, and was like, you know what, I haven't made videos in a while, why don't I try out making a video about this, about making, you know, about me on Yu-Gi-Oh! Testing out a deck, dueling. Maybe people will like that or something like that. It's just kind of a way for me to get back into making videos, so hopefully that works out for you. So here we go. I'm gonna try to, let me see what time. We're gonna try. I want to try to explain this deck really quickly, because I've been trying to explain this deck like for this is like my third take. It's just that I get caught up explaining stuff, and I should just really go through this really quickly. So I'm gonna try that. And if you don't understand, like, I mean, if I look at a deck profile, a lot of the guys are just like, well, they kind of go through the deck and they just assume that you know how stuff works. So just for me to save time, I'm going to do that, and if you don't understand the card, then go on Google and look up the card, and that should help you out. Oh, fucking Christ. Calling me all the time while I'm doing this stuff. Alright, here we go. So, to start this variant off, we have Serene Psychic Witch. She's like the best psychic in the game, so that is why you want her. God, I sound like I'm bored, but I've been talking forever, so maybe I'll get water later. I'll stop talking later. So yeah, we got Serene Psychic Witch. She's like your searcher, I guess. She searches out all your important psychics, so that is why she's cool. And you run 3 of her because she's amazing. Next we got Wizard. You only run 1 of him because you don't really have that many psychic targets in the deck. There's only like 12 that you can summon, excluding stuff in the extra deck, so you only run 1 of him. And I don't know, I think he's just really cool. He's just another floater that works well with Torrential Tribute and Dark Hole and all that other crazy stuff. So, oh, and Psychic Jumper, and Creature Swap, and all that. Just, you know, he works. He works pretty well. Time Escaper, he's in the deck importantly because he's a level 2. And also because he protects Overdrive Teleporter when he's making his plays. Like if they use Effect Failure on Teleporter, you just use him and you save your Teleporter from... You save yourself from taking 2,000 damage while not doing anything. So that's why he's in here. And you run him at 2 just because, you know, you might want to save your other psychics and all that. So there's that. There you go. Next we got Psychic Jumper. You run him at 2 because, well, he's weak, so you don't want to run him at 3, and he's kind of clogs up the deck. But he has an amazing effect. He's just like Creature Swap, and you usually just synchro with a monster that you give that you get from your opponent. But yeah, he's also super important because he's level 2. Esper Girl, She's only at 1 because if you have her in your hand, then you can't really use her effect. So you just keep her in the deck and recruit her out with Witch and all that. And hopefully super cool things will happen. And she gets you card advantage, so she's useful. And she's level 2 also, so she's also useful. Krebins, really, the only reason he's in here is because he's psychic, he's a tuner, he's level 2, and he's a dark. And he protects himself, so that's really the only reason that he's in here. Psychic Commander, he's just a level 3 psychic tuner. That's the only reason he's here. He's just an overdrive. He's a teleporter target. Next we got Junk Synchron. This is a little different in a psychic deck. You're thinking, why is Junk Synchron in here? Well, the reason he's in here is because he just makes Magical Android and Hyper Librarian really easy, and that sets up Miracle Synchro Fusion. He sets that up really well, and he works really well with Synchro Fusionist because that gets you to Miracle Synchro Fusion instantly, and you have so many other targets. You have Time Escaper, you have Psychic Jumper, you just have a bunch of targets to work with Junk Synchron in this deck. So that's why I wanted to try him out, give him a shot. Next we got Effect Veiler. And actually no, I skipped over Synchro Fusionist. Synchro Fusionist, when you use him as a Synchro summon, you get Miracle Synchro Fusion, and he works really well with Junk Synchron, and he's dark, so that's also an important part. Next we got Effect Veiler. He's light, he's a spellcaster. Oh yeah, that's another important thing. Synchro Fusionist is a spellcaster. That's really important. Effect Veiler, light, spellcaster, and really good because he negates your opponent's effects and stops Tour Guide from happening, so he's really cool. That's why you have him in here. Overdrive Teleporter, he's light, that's really super important, and he's a one-card combo. He makes plays happen, and even though you have to tribute a monster, you have freaking Emergency Teleport, you have a bunch of floaters, you have Telekinetic Power Well, you have Call of the Haunted. More than likely, you're going to have a monster to tribute for Overdrive Teleporter, and he just makes plays happen. And you have Witch and Commander as your primary targets. So you run 2 of him, just because 3 would be really stupid. And lastly, we got Blackluster Soldier. That's the reason why we run. That's the reason why we run lights and darks in this deck, because he's just a really broken card. And if you don't know what he does, look him up, and you'll see how broken he is. Next we got Spells and Traps. We got Mystical Space Typhoon, just basic back row hate, Heavy Storm, again, staple. Monster Reborn staple, Dark Hole staple, Emergency Teleport, it's kind of a staple in Psychic decks, and we got another one in this format because it's not really that broken, so it gives us a little extra boost. Next we got Creature Swap. This works really well because Psychics, excuse me, just ate dinner, okay. He's in here because we have a bunch of weak monsters and a bunch of floaters that we can just give to our opponent, and we can steal their really good monster. And this is just a really good card. This is an underrated card that people need to realize is really fucking good. Until they realize it, I'm going to keep using it, and I'm going to keep killing people. Next we got Telekinetic Power Well. This is the reason why you run all the low-level Psychics, because he's just like rekindling for Psychics. He just brings out all these Psychics from your grave, and you just start making plays. Miracle Synchro Fusion. This card's in here just because because the deck is kind of built around it. You have the ability to make fucking Supreme Arcanite Magician and Ultimate Axon Kicker, and if you can't do that shit, that's what I thought. I was explaining for way too long. Let me go back to the deck. Alright, let me wait while everything loads. But, where was it? Miracle Synchro Fusion down here. And if you don't use Miracle Synchro Fusion that quickly, then, you can just set it, and they MST it, and you draw a card. So it's good MST and Heavy Storm bait. Next we got Solemn Judgment. Staple. Solemn Staple. Torrential Tribute, you got a bunch of floaters. So you can just use this and blow up all your opponent's monsters, and then Witch activates and gets you a monster. So it's just a really good way to wipe out your opponent when they try to, go off and do cool stuff. And we got Call of the Haunted, just to really just get your floaters out. give you something to synchro with or something to tribute for Overdrive Teleporter. So that's why that's in here. And we run 41 cards, and we'll see how well that works. Next we got our extra deck. How much time do I got? Alright, 10 minutes, not bad. Not bad. It's a lot better than before. Gotchi. This guy's in here because you run Power Well, and if you can't really do anything, like if you only have tuners, then you can just make Gotchi, because Gotchi's really good. Zinmains, Leviathan Dragon, and Levair, they go together because, as usually what happens when you use Overdrive Teleporter, you just put Witch and Commander together, or Witch and Witch together, and you get either of these guys, and they're really good. Next we got just Photon Strike Bouncers. Like, but BV, you don't run any level 6s. Well, this is the play that I thought in my head. It would be Overdrive Teleporter gets you a Commander and Witch, you synchro into Nightmare, and then you overlay Nightmare with Teleporter, and you get Photon Strike Bouncer. It's really stupid, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see what happens. If I actually ever do that play, I'm gonna be so fucking happy. Supreme Arcanite Magician and Ultimate Axon Kicker. It's the boss monsters that you get with Miracle Synchro Fusion. They're just really fucking awesome. Next up we got Synchros. We got Armory Arm. That's the other thing that you're usually gonna make with Telekinetic Power Well. Like, just you summon Krebins and Time Escaper. If you don't want to make Gotchi, you can make Armory Arm, because Armory Arm's a cool guy. You got your Magical Android. It's Magical Android and TG Hyper Librarian's usually what you're going to be making with Junk Synchron, and that sets up Miracle Synchro Fusion plays. Junk Warrior, he's in here because, well, Junk Synchron's in here, and because you run a bunch of level 2s, so he can get a boost really quickly. So I don't know, it might not be as broken as Doppel Warrior play, but I'm willing to give it a fucking shot. Next is Brionic, just because Brionic's broken, and you can make him with Overdrive Teleporter. Nightmare, and usually what you make with Overdrive Teleporter, and he's a Psychic, so sets up Miracle Synchro. Hyper Psychic Blaster. It's the other thing that you can make with Overdrive Teleporter. You just synchro Psychic Commander with Overdrive Teleporter, and you get this guy, and he's really cool. And I don't know how I'm gonna make Thought Ruler Archfiend. He's just kind of in here because he's a Psychic, and he's level 8. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna make him, but we're gonna figure that out in testing. So yeah, sweet. Not as much time as last time. All right, so that's it. This is my deck. I'm really excited for it because it can do really cool plays, as I just explained. And we're gonna test it out, and we're going to see how well or terrible it does. So yeah, it's just a way, I guess, for me to make videos, I guess, and hopefully you guys are cool with that. So yeah, that's basically it for me. I will see you guys later.